By and large, most classic matches have to go a certain length. You can't possibly achieve much in a short period of time, and therefore no 5-star epic is happening unless we hit that 12-minute plus mark. While there is a certain logic in that, it is by no means the be-all and end-all. In fact, in some situations, a short match is exactly what the doctor ordered. It feels fast, quick, impactful. It hits that sweet spot in your stomach and probably makes you want to watch it again straight away. And you will, because it was so damn short. Everybody wins. I'm Simon from What Culture, and this is the 10 best WWE matches under 5 minutes. Number 10, Taz vs. Kurt Angle. When Taz debuted in 2000 for WWE, it was pretty much spot on. Walking out to take on Kurt Angle at the Royal Rumble, the New York crowd erupted as they recognized the ECW star instantly and made sure he felt like a big deal. Or at least that would have been the case if he hadn't have been booked terribly from here on out. What happened on this night was awesome though. Taz rocked out there, got in Angle's face, suplexed him around the place, and then made him tap in just 3 minutes. It was a huge shock to the system as no one could believe what they'd just seen, and a large reason for that is because they didn't give you a chance to process anything. If it had gone any longer, it wouldn't have been as good. Number 9, Brock Lesnar vs. Rey Mysterio. In 2002, WWE thought it would be great to have a proper David vs. Goliath match, hence the pairing of Lesnar vs. Mysterio. This also meant it was going to have to be quick, because what else could you really do? This was clearly the tack taken here, even though this descended into nonsense very quickly. Rey ran around trying to chop away at Lesnar's leg as Brock just tried to kill him. It was fun anyway, but that zoomed upwards when the Big Show turned up and threw Mysterio into the crowd. Barely went 5 minutes, but it was a laugh a minute as two giant dudes basically hurled Rey around. But still, whatever works. Number 8, John Cena vs. Edge. No one would have thought Edge and John Cena would have been so short in 2006, but hey, gotta keep those fans guessing, and to be fair to them, everybody involved made this work. Now, the reason it was so short was because it was Edge cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase and changing the WWE forever. Still though, match is a match. This had everything you wanted in terms of impact, just left everybody in the crowd with slack jaws. Cena had already gone through a brutal encounter at the Elimination Chamber. Just seeing Edge pick him off in 90 seconds was just shocking. I loved it though, as did everybody else. You don't always need to put on a clinic to go down in the history books, just gotta make sure all the pieces are in place. Number 7, Edge vs. Rey Mysterio. Oh, look at that. 2 repeated wrestlers in this list already. It's almost like they know what they're doing. During a 2008 Beat the Clock challenge though, Rey was set the task of trying to defeat Edge in less than 6 minutes if he wanted to go on to face him again at the Royal Rumble for the World Heavyweight Championship. So there were some serious stakes in place. Because of this, it had a frantic pace and is a real treat to go back and watch. It's filled with silliness as both Batista and The Undertaker get involved to ensure Mysterio was able to pull this off in a very fast 4 minutes and 30 seconds. That didn't hurt anything. It's like a roller coaster in many ways. Just a shot of adrenaline right in your face. Number 6, Dolph Ziggler vs. Alberto Del Rio. Another Money in the Bank cash-in, but would anyone really argue this? It was proper bonkers because of the stipulations around it, and of course, meant it was over quicker than a hiccup. Just listen to that crowd though. Who really cares? What really made this special was that it wasn't a straight-up smash for Ziggler. He had some momentum, but then Del Rio won it back, which made it seem like something could go awry before Dolph then managed to pull it off. This really should have been the launching pad for Ziggler, but as we know, really wasn't. Instead, he just floated around for some reason, and wonders never cease. Number 5, Daniel Bryan vs. The Big Show. Yep, more Money in the Bank shenanigans, but again, it's just so good to watch. This time between Daniel Bryan and The Big Show at TLC 2011, Show and Mark Henry had just beaten the crap out of each other to the point of death when Bryan swanned out to cash in and became World Heavyweight Champion. In total, this lasted about 7 seconds, and even though Big Show kicked out around 3.5, which is never needed, it just didn't matter. Bryan was the champ, and that's what a lot of people wanted, and we all know what would go down over the next few years with him. Kinda started here. Kinda. And all in less than 5 minutes. Number 4, Brock Lesnar vs. The Big Show. At Survivor Series 2002, WWE did everything right and had The Big Show beat Brock Lesnar in a very short match that worked well for the people that were standing in the ring. For one, Big Show was super big at this point, so shorter was better, and there was enough story here that it didn't need to be dragged out. Paul Heyman double-crossed Lesnar during the bout, allowing Show to win the championship and put Brock in a position to become a huge star. And all of that worked too, and if we're honest, it probably wouldn't have done had this gone on for 10 minutes or so. All the momentum would have flown out the window like an annoying wasp or something. But it didn't, and this was great. Number 3, Goldberg vs. Brock Lesnar. How on earth was WWE going to handle the return of Goldberg in 2016 was the big question of the time. If he was going against anyone other than Brock Lesnar, it would have been easy. Just have Bill squash whoever. But this was Lesnar, who hadn't lost clean in years. What was the easy way out? Simple, really. Stick with the plan we just laid out. That's why when Goldberg did beat Lesnar at the Survivor Series in 90 seconds, it sent shockwaves around the wrestling industry. No one saw it coming, and even in the aftermath, no one could believe it. It definitely worked, however. The former WCW man became the biggest deal in the company, and now Lesnar was desperate for revenge. Perfect story right there. Also, who in the hell wants to see these two go any more than a few minutes anyway? Not even their own mothers. Number 2, Owen Hart versus the 1-2-3 Kid. Given this happened in 1994, it's no surprise it was really, really good. You had Owen Hart and the 1-2-3 Kid in the same ring. You could have given them 8 seconds and it would have rocked. They're both too talented for it not to. That's exactly what happened here, as both men put on an exhibition of absurd technical wrestling quality during the King of the Ring pay-per-view, which Owen would eventually go on to win. All it did was help the soon-to-be X-Pac 2, as Owen attacked him before the match, which gave him an easy out as to why he lost. The real winner here, though, were us, the fans, which, yes, is a horribly cheesy line. But this was just so good and fast and efficient. Great stuff. Number 1, Goldberg versus Lesnar 2. See? What did I tell you? No one wants to see these beasts go at it more than a few minutes, not even at WrestleMania 33. Thank goodness they didn't too, because I do think this is the best 5-minute match in the history of the WWE. Had everything. Spears out of nowhere, the breaking of the barricade, jackhammers, F5s. It just didn't stop, and that's because both Goldberg and Lesnar knew they could gas themselves out and it didn't matter. A few minutes it would all be over. I still watch this around once a month at the moment, as it's just so easy to do so. Like a big firework. It's so damn enjoyable.